mentioned today, we're going to talk about Unity for architecture, engineering, and construction. And a bit more about your presenters today. My name is Elizabeth Guzman. I'm a technical specialist for AEC here at Unity Technologies. I'm currently located in Canada, but I'm originally from Dominican Republic. So I heard something about this being translated to Spanish. So this part you wouldn't have to translate, saying, hola a todos y bienvenidos y bienvenidas. Some part of my background is I'm an architect, and I also have a master's in building engineering. I work in the professional services, background, and also as a business analyst, as well as an AEC graduate and research assistant for building economics. Also presenting with me today is my colleague, John Futscher. John, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm John. I'm also a technical specialist at Unity, focusing on industrial use cases. I've been a professional software developer for many, many years. Most recently leading a team that was focused on using XR for industrial uses. And I've also been an independent game developer and a community organizer here in my local area to get more people into technology and the arts.
Great, thank you so much. So for our session today, there are some key learnings, takeaways that we'd like you to take from. First, you will learn how different companies are currently using Unity to create rich, interactive 3D, VR, and AR experiences. We also discussed the challenges of real-time BIM and what's Unity doing about it, as well as giving you an overview of our current AEC offering called Unity Reflex. Well, to start, for those of you who do not know, Unity is the most widely used real-time 3D development platform in the world. And where we enable, from emerging creators to global technology, AEC, manufacturing, automotive, different industries, all the tools that they need to create, operate, and monetize their real-time experiences. As you know, probably heard, yesterday we concentrated on gaming, but today we're not only doing gaming, but architecture, engineering, and construction, film, education, automotive, technology, healthcare, just to name a few. And we have many, many companies utilizing Unity today for all these industries and for different use cases of real time. And we will talk about that now. So we have different solutions and implementations throughout the AEC cycle, like for example, how you can use it for design visualization to win bids. This is an example of a company, Smart Pixels, showing their Maestria condominiums using Unity application for real time. So as you can see here, not only experience the building from the inside, but also the outside, the exterior, the materials, the surroundings of the building, also in the city, and information about the lighting as well, how everything looks like in the walkthroughs for the interior, what you're using for reflection and materials. You can change that material information as well. Looking at the city, also the vegetation, the lighting, the different time of day. All this information is used in real estate to be able to present the model in a different way and hopefully have users experience it better. Another example of companies using Unity for simulation is a big case study that we have where they're using to simulate their ride scenarios. Like for example, here we have Aircon on the Guzman airport. They're doing a VR interactive walkthrough to detect flaws in the designs, the design layout, so the virtual wayfinding of this airport, when you will see all the interactivity about going in the airport, navigate through the immersive environments, not only the interior, but also the exterior of the airport as well, how everything looks like, the test design options and layouts, how the walkthroughs will feel, if it feels crowded, is the space right, you can modify it and prototype in real time. So you see, the construction flow, also the traffic flow, the different components for operational effectiveness. Like I say, if I move this sign here, if I rotate it this way, is it better for the people attending the airport, like for visualization purposes? Like you can also try to remove like the check-in boxes. Will that block circulation in the airport? How will that look like? If you want to move the baggage claim sign, which I always miss when I'm at the airport for some reason, you can do that as well. Not only the interior, but the exterior too. So you see here, this is in VR. What if you add a wall in the middle here? What that will impact the circulation? So many prototype solutions with Unity. Another example that we have for AEC and how customers are utilizing Unity is for pre-construction, specifically for VR training and safety. So here we have an example of Skanska using the HTC Vive in Unity to train their workers, without being in a construction site. So, in these times where we're living in, you can train your crew in the safety of the office, safety of their home, without having to be on the construction site. And as you know, the dangers of the machinery, other people on the construction site, the materials, and all that can be done safely and efficiently. Another example too is AR construction guidance. So in here we have shop architects, another of our clients, and they're overlaying AR content into a real construction site. Actually, this has been built currently in New York. So you can see in here that an efficient way, you just grab your iPad and you go around the surroundings of your building, and you can actually visualize everything with AR before it's been done, the construction is done. So imagine utilizing just this instead of going through, thousands of paperwork and PDF while you're on the construction site, and just having your iPad or mobile device to do this type of analysis. Another example is, let's say the building is already there, the construction already happened, but now you have to maintain and operate the facilities. So we have AR construction and guidance that you can do for maintenance purposes. So here we have Tactile with King County doing this type of training for their workers on the different machinery, the different extra activity, or the menu. You have the content for the training in there. You can experience all the different steps. Imagine if your first day on the job, you don't want to push that red button in there, you wouldn't feel comfortable. So this is like a comfortable way to do XR guidance in Unity. So in summary, as you saw, we have many, many customers using Unity for real-time 3D, like Tactile, Arab Shop, Aricon, Scansec, King County, just to name a few. And but we are talking about real-time 2D, twin times like that, but what is real-time 2D exactly? Well, it is something that is immersive, it is interactive, it looks real, it acts real. It's like a high-end video game. So with real-time 2D, you can walk through a space, through a model, you can open doors, you can change materials, you can see the information in there, and everything you have, the animations, the lighting, the reflections, is being rendered in real time. So with that information, we were actually curious to know companies outside of games, specifically AEC and manufacturing, what they think about real-time 2D, if they think it's useful. So we conducted a study with a company Forrester of last year, and 97% of companies in AEC and manufacturing that participated said that they see a great potential in real-time 3D. 94% of those companies have invested or they're expanding their investment. And also on average, companies in AEC see at least 6 use cases for real-time technology. However, only 19% are doing it. And the ones that are only use it for really large models or pretty late in the design process for this type of technologies are no longer needed. And it's difficult. We understand that the process of creating anything real time is difficult. And there are many reasons behind that. First, it's a painful data preparation process, as you know. It can take days or even weeks for highly technical teams to prepare and optimize all the BIM data, all the information that is required for this type of experiences. Also, architects and designers, I myself, I'm an architect, are not developers, so very few can code in Unity. So it limits the applications and tools we have out there that they can use. As well, the models have been rendered and they look beautifully. The metadata is usually lost, so that limits the potential for visualization. And as you know, sometimes the work is done in silos, but not everyone is together in a collaborative environment to communicate, design changes and coordination, which creates, of course, a breakdown in communication and costly mistakes throughout the process. And this really doesn't align with an industry where time is money, you have to be efficient, and there's a lot of interactions in the design and communication that happens. So with all this information, what is Unity doing about it? Well, we partnered up with Autodesk to create native plugin applications inside Revit and Navisworks to seamlessly integrate the data conversion and transformation process. And through that collaboration, Unity Reflect was born. What is Unity Reflect? Well, it is a BIM design and coordination solution that connects all project stakeholders and members in one immersive, collaborative, real-time platform, regardless of the device they're using, the model size they have, or their geographic location. You can transfer the information of BIM and data from Revit, Navisworks, SketchUp, and Rhino. We have plugins inside all those applications into real-time 3D experiences that you can use on a range of devices. And we see that today. You can have an augmented reality, you can do VR as well. And with those types of devices and applications, you're allowed to bridge the gap between design and decision makers. So it is a design review coordination solution that allows you to do different things. You can communicate design intent. So in an immersive interactive environment, everyone can participate and give feedback. It is also a faster decision making where you have like data federation and live link. So any changes that you made in the model, like in Revit, you change a window, the material, you'll be able to see that right away in Reflect. You can access this in any platform and any device. So you can store the information in the cloud locally. You can use your computer, your laptop, your AR, VR headset or AR application for this. And it's also flexible. So we provide the source code and it's a flexible application that can be customized and built upon if you want to do even more than what we offer out of the box. So this is all the introduction to, give you an idea what Unity or the clients are using for AEC. And now we're going to give you a live product overview of our current AEC offering, Unity Reflect. And with that, take it away, John.
Thanks, Sally. 1 moment. Okay, you see my screen all right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, well, thank you. So as Ellie mentioned, this is Unity Reflex Viewer. It allows you to conduct design review or work with other folks on the same project from anywhere in the world on any device. So what we have here is actually a visualization of a model that is in Revit. And hundreds of miles away, Ellie is in control of that model inside of Revit. And without having a powerful PC or having Revit open and being an architect myself, I can get a real-time look into what that could actually look like from where I am. And it's not just a visualization tool. It actually allows you to see all the BIM data from the project. I can select different objects and actually see the IDs and the categories and families that they're associated with. And it allows you to bring in folks that might not be technical and allow them to see and actually have actionable insight on your project in real time. So I can say, for example, if I saw an issue that maybe that this flooring wasn't correct, I could say, Ellie, could you please change that floor to the hardwood that we talked about? And there it is. It's linked live over the cloud back to the actual Revit project that she's in. So she's in Revit, she's got full control over the project, and she can change things, update things in real time, and I can see them through my viewer on any device at the same time. And this is really important for communication. It allows you to have actionable feedback. It allows you to make sure that my request was heard. I asked her to change something in the project, and I know that it wasn't just copied down in some meeting minutes and then applied later. I can see that it's actually done in the document of record right now, and I can see the results. It also allows you to do things like filtering on all that data that comes in from Revit. So we have the ability to categorize things and filter things like here's all the doors kind of highlighted, or the ceilings. We also have the ability to break things out into different potential phases. So this one's actually a phased out diagram, so we can back away steps of the process, see what it would look like at different points in construction. And we can bring them all back in pretty easily. But we can also hide unneeded details, like all the textures. If you're looking for a white card review that is more about the layout and making sure that everybody kind of stays on topic and focuses on things that matter, we can hide these things. And we can also light things. So if we bring this back in, we also have our lighting. We can turn on the interior lights and get a sense of what the space would actually look like without natural light. This would be important if you're trying to review the space with the people who are responsible for the lighting, but also that leads into our sun study tool. If you know the location of your build, you can put in your latitude and longitude of anywhere in the world and your time of year and say, what would the light look like in this room in, let's say, early morning in the winter. And we can see that, around 6 o'clock, there's a lot of sun going into these doors. And it allows us to see in real time, what that might look like. And we can see even further if we back this out. If those window shades weren't there, that's what it would look like. But we can see that update in real time. And everybody gets their own view into the project. This is my own personalized view. I don't need any real technical expertise or background. Your standard mouse and keyboard inputs work. You can also teleport around in the space by double clicking. And furthermore, right out of the box, we offer the ability to have other views, such as virtual reality. So here's the same space being viewed in virtual reality. I know that some folks might have done a webinar on this earlier about how to use VR with Unity. Unity and VR work really well together, and so does this. Without any other preparation, you can use that same data that you got from your Revit model, bring it into the viewer, and in one click, fire it up in your Oculus Rift headset, and then visualize what it's actually like, could actually be like to be there within your headset. You know, VR offers that real, true 3D stereoscopic rendering, so you can actually see how far away the walls are, feel the size of the room, like is the hallway too tight, you know, does the room feel nice and airy? But that doesn't come with any lack of functionality. The same filtering and BIM data selection tools are also available in the VR view. And this could be a really great way to just also get a sense of what the space is you're actually building without doing any separate processing. You can simply jump in your headset and look at directly what would be in your Revit model. It can also generate some excitement amongst your customers, kind of get an idea of what you're going to be looking at when it's complete. We also recognize that not everybody might have access to VR headsets, but one thing that is fairly ubiquitous these days are mobile devices. So to that end, here is also the same project being viewed on a mobile device. And if I asked Ellie to change the exterior of this building, we could see it updated live as well. You know, this is all the same data, just another view on another device. We have the same ability to get our BIM data and select different objects and see the exact data related from the project. Simple touch commands, simple basic filtering. Now, the main question I generally expect is, how am I going to get my giant architectural model onto a mobile device and be able to look at it? Well, to that end, let me load a slightly larger model than the one right here. And what you're seeing right now is our progressive streaming algorithm. So there's a custom algorithm at play here that allows us to load the model iteratively. So it'll focus on whatever's closest to the view as possible, and to allow you to begin interacting with your data immediately while it's not all completely loaded. It will all eventually load, and it will load on any device, but it also allows you to get right in and start looking at things without having to wait for that. And this is an even larger model than the one that I showed before, because it also integrates the federated data from Navisworks to allow us to look at things like isolating potentially the HVAC system, or just the structural diagram, or them together with the architecture to see maybe if there's any conflicts. And it's a real intuitive way to kind of easy to see that. And lastly, but certainly not least, we also have the ability to put this out in augmented reality. Now, this is great for extremely non-technical folks because it requires literally no inputs to get a different viewpoint on any given position. I can stand up and walk around the model and look at it from any point with my mobile device. And of course, I have access to all the same filtering tools, but I can also scale it. I can bring it up a little bit bigger to get a view into the space, similar to what we see in the VR, but this is also just through a mobile device. You know, Android, any Android or iOS device can do it. And you can see right through and bring this all the way up even to 1-to-1. So it's almost even like walking around into the space. You can actually see what it might look like if I'm turning around a bunch into different areas, into the space. And this is all the same data coming directly from the actual project itself, being able to be viewed multiple different ways in the Reflect viewer. And with that, I would also like to note that if there's anything that we showed with the Reflect viewer that you thought, oh, it's missing this tool, or maybe there's something else that I might want to do with it, the Reflect viewer itself is actually built with Unity. And so with Unity Pro, you can actually customize it into anything else that you could think of. It's all extensible. You can develop your own custom solutions. Ellie showed an example from Shop Architects using the 1-to-1 scaling. That was the Reflect viewer. And they made a custom solution to show their building at the job site before it was completed. That's absolutely something that you can do by extending it out. And it also has integration into the editor itself. So if I pop up the editor, here is another look at, I just imported that model real quick. It's all gray boxed right now, but this is the same model that we see here directly into the editor with the structural and HVAC stuff that you just saw. And so once it's in the editor, if you know how to use Unity, and there's lots of free tools and resources, and there's trials available for all these things to grab. If you know how to use Unity, once it's in there, you can pull this right out of Revit, Navisworks, get it into your system, and then you can start doing whatever you'd like to with it in the Unity editor and build on top of the stuff that we've already shown. And so, yeah, with that, I think I can throw it back to Ellie.
Great, thank you so much, John. Let me share my screen again. Great, so let's do our small recap. So everything that we saw. So as Joe was mentioning, and we were doing to the health presentation, for Unity Reflect, we have third-party plugins for different applications. So we have Navisworks, Revit, SketchUp, and Rhino. We take all that information and we transform it from viewers between, cloud servers or local service storage. And you can visualize this and Reflect viewers free to distribute to anyone in your device, in your iOS device, your headset, like the VR Oculus Rift that just was presented today, or the AR tabletop with the iPad. We have the cloud option that allows you to share your model to the cloud, so it's accessible to anyone, so you can tie the office to the field. You also have easy to use navigation that doesn't require any additional training for the users to be able to immerse themselves and interact with the model. And as John saw too, we have model streaming, which allows you to load the model 95% faster. So you don't have to wait for the entire model to load to be able to interact with it. So that's a progressive streaming that we have. And based on what you're looking at, object priority, you can look at your model different ways. You also have the BIM object selection. So all the information that comes from your platforms, Revit, SketchUp, Navisworks, and Rhino, you can visualize that information in here by selecting the different, components that you have in your model, and you'll be able to see all that derived data, as well as filtering by that data. So as John presented to you, you can, isolate information, or you can just simply also hide and show information in your model. You also have the sun study tool that is easy slides, an accessible wheel that you can use your clicks on your computer or your fingers on the mobile device to be able to look at the sun at different times of day, different times of year, to analyze the conditions of natural lighting and artificial lighting in the space. And of course, as you saw as well, you don't only can use Reflect like on your desktop or your laptop, you can also bring it to VR and AR modes, allowing for anyone to access any optimal platform of their choice. Also, if you want to do more than what we offer out of the box, you want to implement, more uses of Reflect, you can definitely build upon it, and you can use the Unity Pro engine for that. So we have, the applications out of the box that we offer for the VR headset are the Oculus Rift. And let's say you want to utilize the Microsoft HoloLens or other VR headsets for this, you can definitely bring this to the editor and export it to the 24 plus applications that we have. We have some resources here as well. So as you know, our Unity Learn Premium is free to access to anyone, where we have different trainings, not only in AEC, but of course in games and film and manufacturing and automotive that you can learn. We also have a free Unity Reflect trial if you want to use it and try it out. You can download the information, play around with the model, and see how that looks in Unity and also in the editor. And we also have our website. If you want to have more information about specific products for architecture, engineering, construction, you can visit that. Stay tuned. And of course, we would love to hear your feedback. So we have a public roadmap where you can click on this link, or you can scan this image to look at the different features we're working on, for you to suggest different things that we can implement and do. We also would love to see your work on Unity for AEC or different applications that you might use with Reflect or build upon Reflect. So you can contact us and also provide your feedback there. And with that, we'd like to thank you so much for your time today. If any questions you might have for me and John, here's our LinkedIn and Twitter information. And any questions that you might have like now, you're more than welcome to answer them. Thank you.